Well done, Zoe. Well, winning over Bella is one thing. Winning over a room full of people who have come expecting a spectacular wedding, that's an entirely different story.
Absolutely. And with wedding season having just started, we're staying on top of all the trends, including florals. And here to tell us more about this year's best-selling flowers is wedding planner Geskenke, who also happens to be a former Survivor contestant and decathlete champion. I knew I recognized your face. How are you, Zavian?
My face is a lot more full than what it was on the
I was going to say, at least you filled out a little bit, man, but that's a little bit rude.
No, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Zavian, really thanks so much for joining us. Inspiring stuff already. The reason why I am here, okay, partly because, yes, I am the wedding MC. I think I've emceed every one of my friends' weddings. But I couldn't believe...
Worst job in the world.
Oh, man, I love it, man. I love being a part of that special day. But, dude, I couldn't believe reading your CV... Pre-wedding planning, I mean, under 19 rugby player for the Sharks, Sevens rugby player, as we've mentioned, decathlon champion.
Who sold me out?
But, so I suppose it was a logical step then to move on to wedding planning, huh?
Of course, you know, what do you say? From a rugby field to doing flowers.
What was the inspiration? What drew you on this path?
So actually, how I got into the industry is my parents built a wedding venue in Mildersdrift, and I was involved from the bottom right to the top, and then eventually I was just like, cool, I'm going to start wedding planning. And then, cool, I'm going to start doing flowers. So I started doing flowers a year ago, and it's just been incredible, and I love being on top of everything and giving my clients what they love.
Wow.
And my company is really, really growing, and I'm just so blessed and so happy.
Started from the bottom, now you're here.
Exactly, and that's what I tell everyone all the time. I'm like, I started from the bottom.
Do you want to tell us more about the arrangement that you're working on here? And of course, what are some of this season's biggest flower trends?
Okay, so here's the whole thing. So at the moment, there's 3 huge trends coming in the industry at the moment. So everything is all about going back to nature.
Yeah.
So no one likes tightly packed things anymore. You don't want to see that really tightly packed bouquet. So the arrangements are very loose, very unstructured, very kind of wild, that kind of thing. So almost like you went into the garden, you picked a couple of flowers and just kind of threw it together. That's kind of a huge trend at the moment. And obviously, the soft pastel colours.
Yeah, I was going to say, very representative.
Yes, everyone is loving that. At the moment, it's very huge. You've got to remember that with the wedding industry, what people like now, they're only going to have for their wedding in a year from now. Okay. Right. Okay. So we kind of always have to stay ahead of trend. We kind of have to predict. So my whole thing is, end of next year, we're going to have a lot more bright colours coming in. So that's going to be quite exciting. Yeah. Another thing that I've been noticing, which is quite cool, is bouquets, bridal bouquets. The bigger the better. No one wants a small little... Yeah, exactly. You know, you just want to kill someone when you throw that thing. It's ridiculous. I always tell the brides, I'm like, listen, throw it up, not like down. So that's the whole thing. So cascading bouquets are huge at the moment. Really? So something that is held over here and that kind of goes down with the shape of the dress. I like designing the bouquet on the day. Yeah. So... yeah, that's the whole thing. Those
I think from my experiences, it is very unforgiving, the environment that you work in. We are dealing with brides who have been picturing this day probably since they were about 5 years old. So when they want to select a flower bouquet or a flower arrangement that works for them, it's not just about wowing the crowd, but they've got to have that perfect day. How do you go about directing a bride or through a bridal party through how they should select their flowers?
Look, it's very difficult. Pinterest is our biggest friend.
Ah, cool.
So basically most brides get all of their ideas from Pinterest and they kind of go from there and they say this is what they want, and the perfect way to guide them is just by trying to stay ahead of trend and trying to doing something different, because every bride sees a picture and they go, oh, I want this. And your job and my job and what I love doing is making it special, making it different, making it something exceptional.
Well, you certainly have.
But that's the whole thing, so...
Well, you're doing a great job.
Thank you so much, Zavian, for joining us today, and of course for giving us all of the wedding
wanted to mention, sorry, one more thing. I'm so sorry. So the really awesome thing is that with flowers, I always love learning. And there's an amazing florist coming to Africa for the very first time. And a lady by the name of Sylvia from Yes Events is bringing her to Africa. Her name is Karen Tran.
I've heard of her.
And she is one of the best florists in the world. So she's in Cape Town between the 23rd and the 25th of November. Now,
awesome.
So if you just Google Yes Events,
check her out on Pinterest.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't name drop that.
Well, the creativity continues on the show. We're going to take a very quick ad break, and then we are with Ewan and Gabs in the kitchen.